Good afternoon, Scott Redler, T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. The reason why we go over levels in the morning call or in some of our notes or on the blog, wherever we do it, is so you have them in front of you. I think the title of the article this morning was mapping out levels, to measure the speed, or mapping out levels to see where we could hold, because we came in today, futures were down, and we had no idea what type of day it was going to be. So what do? We get our Fibonacci retracements, we look to see where there are gaps, we look to see what's going on ahead of time, because when you're in the moment, it's not easy to do. And this morning, we pulled off really hard, and I know for me in the first part of the day, I got stopped out of a lot of my positions. But then what happened? We hit support, bounced off it. Some news came out that there was some movement on the physical cliff, which is a buzzword that every trader needs to know when you hear it. Yesterday there was no progress. Today there was progress. Meanwhile, you look at the chart and technically we held where we had to. So you go here, doesn't this look really easy after the fact? Obviously when you're going through it, it's not that easy. But what did it do here? We talked about the Fibonacci retracements. We talked about perhaps this gap not getting filled because it wasn't as pent up as this gap down here. So we came down, and it basically touched it real quick, came off of it, and we closed near the highs of the day. Holding the 0.382% Fibonacci retracement, which to me still shows a strong committed tape. Now, you have to know what they mean. 25% fib retracement, I don't even think is a fib retracement. I come up with it because sometimes when things are that pent up and they're ready to go quickly, they hold there. But overall, 0.38, 0.2% retracement is still deemed strong, even a 50% retracement, and you could still head higher, but at a slower pace. And then the one that held a few times was the last line of defense, that 0.61, which we didn't get to any of those. We got to this one, and if you look back at this chart, you'll see, look at the 3-minute real quickly so I can show you how things ignited. All right, this was the morning, okay, right here. This was this was your gap down, right? Gap down. And then went sideways, continued lower, and then look on actually this 3-minute chart, you had a red dog reversal, right? Red dog reversal through the low, came back, and then if you draw a little bit of a line right here, like this, the morning downtrend from the gap, here it ignited through, and then what did it do? If this was a daily chart, it would have looked beautiful. Well, we had a nice bull flag, which was commitment to this reversal right here, right after that news. And here, so if you miss this, which this was not easy to catch, all right, a lot of guys probably got short, squeezed right there. But right here, once it was consolidating higher above the morning downtrend, that was your particular entry, or at least your switch gears right here, 139.70. Then you had another wide range bar filling the gap. That's one trade. Then you had another trade where it flagged again, and you had a little bit of follow through. Then it came back, retested where it held. And then, all of a sudden, the rest of the day, wound up continuing all the way to the upside. You go to the 13-minute chart, so you want to see it that way. You could go like this too, where you move it over, and you could see the afternoon follow through, okay, which was right here. You go across, this was a nice flag type pattern. This was the low of the day. First move, held higher. Another move, consolidated at the top third of this move, showing commitment to this move off the lows. So a lot of decent signs of today, a lot of different areas to cover shorts if you were short, or to add for cash flow into the gap here, and lots of different trades. Now, if you want to talk about individual stocks, obviously all different stocks are not created equal. Yesterday, for the first time, Google poked its head up. First time I think I spoke about Google in a while, because it was a price pattern. Showed relative strength yesterday, descending channel today. You go to Google here, take a look at the chart. Very nice, okay? I'm not saying it's going back to 760 and it's going to have a new high type move, but you know what? Here is your reversal. Pushed off of it, pushed away from it. Went sideways yesterday while the indices were lower. It traded towards the highs, and then today opened down. You could have bought more above 675, and it wound up going to 683. Chances are, this stock probably works its way back to 700 at some point. Your next point of reference is right here, which was 695. So with that said, close near the highs of the day. Nice day and a half pattern. It probably goes higher. I'm long some. I did not trade this one great because it was erratic and went positive, and then all of a sudden got had a nice flash lower before regaining. So, I got back into it once it regained. If you look at the 5 minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. You could always switch some gears. I was in it. And then on this move, I think I got stopped out of the majority of it. And then once it came back up, I decided to get back long. If you look right here, you're seeing a nice little flag type pattern, commitment to this low. And then, it doesn't remember if you got stopped out. So one thing I think I grew from is that I didn't say, okay, GOOG got me out, I'm done with it the rest of the day. It was, no, GOOG got me out. Now it's holding up better. Okay, it's holding higher versus mini downtrend. You could add here. You could look to add through the high of 675, and then that was your quick move to 679. And then you want to go see another pattern here. This is your afternoon pattern. Okay, if you missed this entire morning, there was another trade when it went above 679 to go to 684. So, a lot of things going on here intraday as well, besides looking at it on the daily chart, saying it's nice and tight and set up. Also came in today for the first time in a while, I think, with no Apple. I said Apple, you went to what, 590 after a move from that 522. Looked like needed some time to digest. Did a little Apple video talking about, I think, like 572 to 575 as potential support, a decent area to hold. It took some time. It was definitely weaker today because it's had a big move, but calculated wise, worked out pretty well. Okay, this was the area we talked about right here, right? 574-ish, something like that. And where did it go? Wound up going to 572.26 and reversed, closed pretty well. The stock, after a little bit of time and I would say consolidation, is going to set up a nice little flag type pattern again, like it did right here, and could push higher to test the 200-day, which comes in around 599, and maybe even at some point get up to this before it's all said and done, before all the guys that are thinking that we're going to have a head and shoulders top pattern here being built and that this is going to be the right shoulder. But this is more forward looking, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's what the doomsday guys are saying. But at this point, it's still showing commitment. I would just say do a little less because as it goes higher, it's a little bit more tricky, but it did hold where it had to. So tactically, nice maneuvering. Strong sectors. What was strong today? RTHs, right? Let me show you a quick little chart one more time of the spiders. Here were the spiders, right? Spiders engulfed towards the end of the day. This little pattern. Look what the RTHs did. RTHs powered through. Look at that. And it was there early. So a lot of relative strength in retail. Okay, a lot of special dividends are coming out of retail. This was a nice, powerful move. Stock like Visa, actually not in retail, but showing relative strength. I guess it is in retail because people spend, right? You look at this trend, very, very strong. Looks like it's going to make new highs once again. You go to MasterCard, another nice little setup. I know it's a tricky stock, but it too is trading near momentum highs. We see another up day or so. This thing could be trading through 485, 490 and making new highs. It's been in an unbelievable weekly, monthly trend, and here it is all set up again. Perhaps it has a special dividend. I think that's on a decent amount of cash, but that looks good. I'm in some of that also. You go to Lulu. This is something I did not go back to. I got stopped out. When things looked bad, I wasn't really committed to this one, but I was playing for for a move through this downtrend, which it just poked its head through. This looks okay. Still holding higher, still in the game for higher prices. Look at something like, I think we went over Ralph Lauren the other day, and it's poking its head above this this area. Nice move above this flag. TJ Maxx, I know we talked about that one with Jill. That looks good. Nice engulfing bar here, engulfing one day, engulfed this entire choppy range, so that looks okay. As far as some other names, I know that we talked about Priceline. Remember Priceline? Sperling, I think, did pretty well with it today. Nice wide range bar. Held this gap, right? Look at this gap right here. Held it for a bit and then flagged. I know it wasn't easy to deal with, but today was your day. Above this area, looks like it could continue. Very strong stock. Expedia, very strong stock. Near historic highs. eBay continuing. Nice little flag type pattern above resistance. This to me looks like it's going to get some higher prices too. Here's your nice little follow through trade right above this flag. Could happen tomorrow. A lot going on. A lot of commitment. You're seeing a lot of things across the board. I know today wasn't an easy day to handle. It was like a gut check where uncommitted longs got stopped out. And I did get stopped out in the beginning, but then you also had some times to reshuffle and get back involved. I know I had silver and gold, And this morning, that's what really set me off. I mean, what's going on here? Gold broke that 168.5, silver was below 32.5, and I'm just like, okay, I got to get out. So I got stopped out. They went lower, but I guess you could say they closed decent. You look at gold. The reason, that's why it's so hard in these metals. They do everything, a lot of it after hours. This was a nice breakout. Okay, controlled pullback. Looked as if it stopped there, it could continue. What did it do? It gapped down into prior support, closed off the lows. So if you didn't take it overnight, you might have had a decent trade and it could fill this gap. But for me, I'm avoiding. I went with silver. Silver, same type of thing. Huge gap down, closed strong. They got me out. They did a great job getting me out. This was my line in the sand right there, and I think I got out somewhere around there pre-market, and I just didn't look at it again. But I'll stay away a little while. I like to have control of my situations, and I think that these metals, just unless you're ultra buggy, gold bugs, silver bugs, it's a hard trade because a lot of it happens after hours. I know Friday there was a decent breakout trade. You could have held it last Wednesday into Friday. But all in all, it's a tricky type of situation. So if you got hurt in the metals, I apologize. And if you stuck with it, congratulations, you're a better man than me. And then you have the banks. The banks right now, the banks aren't really showing relative strength. I showed you how the RTHs were making a higher high, whereas the banks did reverse today. But look at this range. It's below it, right? It held this gap, reversed pretty hard, but it's still below this 4 or 5 day range where the spiders popped its head a little bit through it. RTHs well above it. Go to the Qs, pretty much going in line with the spiders right now. Closed real strong. My nemesis, Qualcomm, closed okay. I got, I was in it here, got stopped out, but overall, pattern still looks good. Nice sideways channel, closed near the highs, so that can continue. So at this particular point, if you weathered the storm today, congratulations. It wasn't easy. Hopefully, you were able to get back in some of the positions if you liked them. I know I would say be a little lighter because we can get some more of these headlines back and forth. So I don't think we're just going to take off. I think it's hard to be short right here after the move like today, but I don't think you need to be excessively long. If you do have positions, put on the spider hedge just in case we open down a little bit tomorrow. Have a hedge just in case. So this way, if you open down, you could then cover your hedge and add to some positions that are working. Even this morning when the market wasn't working out so well, some of the strong stocks and the right stocks that have been strong gave you a way out. Google went positive first. You could have salvaged it. Facebook was up. You could have salvaged it. There was a lot. Facebook, let me at least put that chart up too. Chart looks really good. Still trending higher. There's no real big price point, but if it starts to get above this 2650 with any authority, it should continue. There is demand that's been trending up. My real interesting entry, which we talked about, was around 2420 after buying some in the 23s, and it's still methodically going up. So stay in some. I'm still in some as well. I got to catch a ferry. Hopefully, I had a decent day. If you got a little bit knocked around, a lot of people did. Don't beat yourself up. Just regroup and get yourself together because I do think we're gonna have a lot of action moving forward. Have a great night. See you tomorrow morning. I'll be with Jill. Looking forward to it. See you then.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.